So on the bottom of Kuf on base Gufa. Oichel Gidanosha shall be him Tmeya. Discussion in the Mishnah, right? We have a Bryce that talks about two Yehudas and Chayev Shtein. One out Behim Tmeya, one's out Gidanosha. Rabbi Shimon Poiter. You're free from anything. Zok to Gemara, Rabbi Shimon one of Shach. What do you hold? Isur Chalal Isur. You hold Isur Chalal.
It's two.
So then the Chayev Nami Mishum Yein Isur Chalal Isur. The Chayev Mishum Tuma. The Kadim fine. You don't hold Isur Chalal Isur, so at least the only fine, only Tuma. But Tuma is the one that comes first. You should be Chayev for that. V'ein v'gidim v'nais and tam. And if you hold Stamazoy by Gidan Noshi, you're not Chayev because Gidan Noshi Mitzad Behemet Meir, you're part because it's not food. But still the Chayev Mishum Gid the Torah is Mechayev, even though it's Eitz Ba'alma. Still the Torah is Mechayev, and therefore since the Isser of Tmeya isn't Noig by Gid, so then the Isser Gidan Noshi should be Chal. Even if you hold any Isser Chalal, so there is no first Isser, right? There's only one Isser here. Gidan Noshi.
There should be two in total.
So it should be one. Should be one.
Why?
Because even if you hold ein Isser Chalal Isser.
Well, because it's not to make.
It's a hoof, right? But still, because it's a hoof, you're not chayav al t'mei. Fine, then you're chayav al t'gid. Right. So Amarav Eloim Kasavar ein begidim b'neisim tam. Must be holds ein begidim b'neisim tam. And therefore, you're not chayav al t'behim t'mei. Still, why you're not chayav mitzad gid hanoshe? Shani hasam dam akro al kein lo yochlu b'nei Yisrael as gid hanoshe. What do we learn from this pasuk? Oh, good morning. Right. We learn from this pasuk is that Bnei Yisrael are allowed to eat everything except for the gid. The only animals we're talking about are mishigidoy asur. Mutter. If the only thing we're answering is the gid, but the basar itself is mutter. Yatsa sazu. We're excluding ve'emes tmeyas shegidoy asur. Okay, so the Gemara is bringing a drush over here, which seems to tell us that this is why by Behemoth Tmeis Gidan Noshi is not noeg. Right? There's a little bit of confusion over here because the Rabbanan in the Mishnah seem to say that the reason why it's not noeg by Behemoth Tmeis is because it was not noeg by Bnei Noyach. Right? Rabbi Yehuda says it is noeg by Bnei Noyach. The Gemara said yesterday it's because it's Isur Chomer, and Mela because it's Isur Chomer, so we do say Isur Chal Isur because when something is more Chomer, it is Chal on the other Isur. Right? That seemed to be the Svara in Rabbi Yehuda, while the Rabbanon either hold right that the Rabbanon seem to hold that it wasn't noeg by Bnei Yaakov B'chlal because it was only said b'Sinai. So according to them, it's not an Isur Chomer. It wouldn't be noeg. Right? It wouldn't be noyeg. It wouldn't be chal, even though it's an isur. It's not an isur chomer because it was not noyeg by Bnei Yaakov. The only reason why I point to be it's chal because it's an isur chomer because it's broader. It's noyeg even by Bnei Noach, and therefore according to him it's chal. According to Rabbanan, it was never chal by Bnei Noach. Fine. But according to here, it sounds like Rav Shimon holds that's not the discussion. Even if it was noyeg by Bnei Noach, but according to him, he has like a drasha that tells him that the only animals we're going to answer are the animals that are mutter b'achila. Something that's asur b'achila, so it's not in the discussion at all. Is this the same shita as the Rabbanan, or is this a new shita? Right? Besides the Rambam, we said over yesterday also, the Rambam doesn't learn this way in the Mishnah either. The Rambam seems to learn, the Chachamim say that we don't learn pre-Sinai. From pre-Sinai we don't learn b'chlal, and therefore the fact that Bnei Yaakov were Nesar is not going to teach us anything. Because halacha for us starts by Sinai, and since by Sinai, when the Isser was given, we were not allowed to eat Behemoth Tmeis, then Memela, the Isser was only said to Behemoth Tahiris, because Behemoth Tmeis I'm not talking to you about. Chlal, right? That's why it seems that the Rambam holds the Persian Mishnayos. Okay, so we have a few different mahalachim over here, as to exactly why it's not Chal. Fine. Now the Gemara goes into a general discussion of Isser Chalal Isser with Rabbi Yehuda. Okay, I'm Rabbi Yehuda Marav. If you eat Gidanashe of Nevela, right? So first it's also Gidanashe, right? And then it became a Nevela that died, right? So now you eat the Gidanashe of Nevela. What do you chay? Remer is Mechayiv Shtayim. Right. Okay. Right? Yeah, only Gid. Moedim Chacham Rav Meir, and Chacham agreed to Rav Meir, but if you eat the Gidanasha of an oila, someone's makish an animal, so now it becomes an oila, the whole thing becomes aser. And Shar Niskol, if a shar is it kills a person, right? You have to recycle it. So then, by those two animals, then you are chayiv shtayim when you eat just the Gidanasha. You chayiv one ounce Gidanasha, one ounce oila. Or one else Shar Niskol. It's not allowed to know, right? So, what's the svar over here?
What's the difference between them?
All the Isser Shar Niskol came after the Gid.
Oh, so why is Isser Chalal? So basically, the Chiluk Rashi explains is that there's something called Isser Koilo, something called Isser Moisif, and something called Isser Chamur. Right, so basically, by the case of nevela, so when the animal dies, yes, nevela does add isurim, right, to the other parts of the animal. That's called isur koila, right? Until now, the gidanosha only answered the actual gid, right? Now comes isur nevela, it's going to answer the entire animal, right? And the Rabbi Meir holds that because it's answering the other parts of the animal, because nevela is chal regarding the other parts of the animal, of course, right? So therefore, it's going to be chal even regarding gidanosha. Chachamim hold no, that's not the way it works. We don't hold of isur koilo, even though it is going to be chal regarding the other parts of the animal. Regarding gidanosha, it's not going to be chal. However, by oila and by shar niskol that have isurei hana'ah, right? So over there, by Isurei Hana, even regarding the Gid itself, right? Even regarding the Gid itself, there's an addition, because the Isur Gid is only Asur Ba'achila. Comes the Isur Oila, comes the Isur Shar Niskol, and now it's Chal on Isur Achila of Gid. Now it's saying, even the Gid, I'm adding something to the Gid. What am I adding to the Gid? I'm adding Isur Hana, right? So once I'm adding Isur Hana to the Gid, because of Oila or Shar Niskol, so now it's even going to be Chal, the Isur Achila, Mitzad Shar Niskol. So that's called Isur Moisef, I think. No, the Gemara calls it Isur Chomor.
The Chatzos is Kaveya, right, whether it's first or second. So the new one that you can bring has to match the Chatzos, no? Because the old one is or that was Risha. Then as they argues, he says, no, how can I Risha?
Makes more sense. Most of the additional dimension.
Right. I just think the Gemara is going to...
Maybe they're equivalent.
Yeah, Rashi calls it Moisef. Right, so that's going to be the chiluk over here, right? So by the regular case, it's just koilo, it's just koilo the other parts of the animal. That's not enough for the chachamim to allow it to make isur koilo. So only if it's legavi the actual thing. Now legavi the actual gidanosha, there's another din that is going to actually be chal, because isur hano. Why shouldn't isur hano chal? Right? Isur hano never. The animal is not usher right now, but isur hano. The gidanosha is not usher b'hana, it's only asur b'achila, and therefore avad mitzad shar niskol, it's going to be chal this rano. Once it's chal this rano, the guy with the gidanosha is going to be chal this rachila too. Yeah. Okay. Now says the Gemara, man haytan the isur koilel isur chalal isur lesle. Who's the one who holds that by isur koilel you don't say isur chalal isur? Right. Basically, we're asking who are these chachamim, right? Who don't hold about. They don't hold Isser Kolel when it's Kolel something else is Chal. No, it's not Chal, even though it's Isser Kolel. But Isser Kolel be Isser Chomer than Isli. But when the Isser does get more Chomer, right? I guess over here in the situation like Moisif, right? It's Moisif Adin. It's not just Achil, it's even Asr B'Hanoah. That's what we're calling more Chomer, right? So in this situation, they would agree that Isser Chalal Isser. Amorava. It's not because we have a mishnah Tamei Shachal Kodesh. A person who's Tamei who eats kachim. Bein Kodesh Tamei, Bein Kodesh Tar. Whether the kachim itself is Tamei or the kachim itself is Tar, Chayev. He's going to be Chayev as a Tamei that eats kachim. A Tamei that eats kachim is Chayev Kares. Okay. Doesn't make a difference whether the kachim itself is Tamei or Tar. Basically, no. Tamei Shachal is Tar Chayev. If he eats Tar, then he's Chayev. But Tamei Shachal is Tamei Patur. if the person who's tamei eats the kachim that is already tamei, so then he's going to be pater. Why shlei ochal ela davar tamei? Because it sounds like over here right now, it sounds like he holds it the only time you're chayiv if you kachim if the kachim is tar. They tell him back. Af tamei she'ochel satar. What do you mean? If a tamei eats a tahar, Kerem shenaga baitim. Oh, once the tamei guy touches the kachim, he made a tamei now. So now you're going to eat it. It's tamei. So what's the difference, right? Every case is going to be these tamei. So in what situation are you mechayev, right? Says the Gemara, Shapir Karma the Rabbanan Rabbi Yossi. Don't the Rabbanan have a good time to Rabbi Yossi, right? That according to you should always be pater because it's always tamei. Shapir Karma Rabbanan Rabbi Yossi Liva Amarava, and Rava explained. This is what's going on over here. When the person himself became tamei, his goof became tamei, and then the basar became tamei. Everyone agrees you're chayiv. Why? The Isur Kares Kodim. The Isur Kares comes first. First, the person becomes tamei, right? Which means that he's now asur bikaris to eat the kachim. Then if the basar itself becomes tamei, right? So according to Rabbi Yossi Aglili, it's
But this is only if you mefarish, you can school.
I'm sorry. Everyone agrees in this situation that you're chayav, of course, because the Isur Kares comes first because he was tamei first, right? Kipligi b'nitma basar. How about a situation where the basar itself became tamei first? The achakach nitma gof. Right. So when the basar becomes tamei, so now we're not allowed to eat it, right? No one's right now. I'm not allowed to eat this basar, right? Because it's kachim that became tamei. Now I'm not allowed to eat it. Right, but then achakach nitma guf. But then my body became tamei, right? And now I'm not allowed to eat not only that piece of meat. I'm not allowed to eat any piece of kachim, even tar kachim, right? So now the chachamim hold Rabbanan islu isur kolel. They hold isur kolel. Demigu demichayev achaticha istahiris. That because I now became tamei. And now I'm going to be chayiv on the other chatichas tahiris. Therefore, the alma in the whole world. So therefore, mechayiv nami chaticha tmei. And therefore, I'm right now going to be mechayiv on the chaticha tmei, which I was already going to be chayiv for, right? Because this chaticha tmei, when it came tamei, I'm not allowed to eat it because it's kachim that's tamei, right? But when I become tamei, right? So now, it should be ein isur chalal isur because I'm already also to eat this. So now my tumas aguf, but the isur tumas aguf shouldn't be chalal because it's isur chalal isur. No, say the Rabbanan, because it's chalal gabi the other chatichas in the world. Therefore, avada there's an afkamina to the fact that I'm tamei because now I'm not eating any kachim, right? So the mele it's going to be chalal also legabe that same chaticha which was already also for me to eat. Rabbi Eliyahu last isur kolel. He doesn't say this migu. He doesn't say because it's chaf for this, it's chaf for this. He doesn't hold the Isur Kolel, right? So he's the one who doesn't hold of Isur Kolel, right? And therefore over here he's not going to be mechayev. If he holds that the tamei animal, he holds that the tamei basar is asur to you because it's tamei, and then when you become tamei, you're not going to be chayev kares for that. Because ein isur chalal isur. Right? Now the Gemara is saying that we were looking for a Tana who doesn't hold of isur kolel, right? But is going to hold isur chomer. And we say, this is Rabbi Eliyahu. So in fact the Gemara, Rabbi Eliyahu nihid isur kolel lesle isur kal. Very nice that Rabbi Eliyahu maybe doesn't hold the concept of isur kolel by an isur kal, but isur chomer should be yochol al isur kal. Over here. Over here, Omaynihu, what are we talking? And what is the Isur Chomer? Tumas Aguf, Bekaris. Meaning in the situation where Rabbi Yossi holds an Isur Chalal Isur, right? The basar became tamei, and that's also Isur Lav, right? You're not allowed to eat it; it's a lav. Kachim becomes tamei; it's a lav. Now that you became tamei, right? So Rabbi Yossi wants to say it doesn't make a difference. Ein Isur Chalal Isur, right? But it should be chal because it's more chomer, right? We're saying when it's more chomer, it should be chal. So also over here, you get kares right now. Because if a tamei person eats kachim, he gets kares. It's worse than just the lav of eating a piece of kachim that's tamei, right? And therefore it should be chal. So yavi yisur chal yochal yisur kal. Mine tumas aguf. Tumas aguf bekares. Ravashi, what's pshat in Rabbi Eliyahu? that no, maybe it's not more chamer. Man leimel in the tum saguv chamura. Who told you that just because it's kares, that means that it's more chamer? No, we can look at it from a different perspective. That tells us that eat kachim, right? That tumas abasar, the basar is tummy, it's more chamer. Why? Because dimul tumas basar chamur, the less leitayr b'mikvah. Because you can't take basar that's tamei and put it in mikvah and be b'tahir, right? A person who's tamei, you could put him in mikvah and be b'tahir, right? So it's more kal. But basar, once it becomes tamei, that's it. You have to throw it out. Okay. So therefore, maybe that's more chamer, and therefore it's still not going to be kal. Good morning. Now it says the Gemara, Rabbi Eliyahu Raful, Isur Kolel. Is it true that Rabbi Eliyahu does not hold the concept of Kolel, right? And that's what we see from this brisa. V'atanya, isn't there a brisa that says Shabbos and Yom Kippurim? If Shabbos and Yom Kippurim are chal together. Shogag v'asam melacha. Let's say by mistake you did a melacha. Minayin shechayv al zebe atzmoin ve'al zebe atzmoin. You're going to be chayv for both Shabbos and Yom Kippurim. Amaloyma Shabbos hi, Yom Kippurim hu. Right, so we have a special pasuk by each one which tells us that you're going to be chayv for each one. This is divrei Rabbi Eliyahu Raful. Kiva Omer in chayv ala achas. In chayv only one. Right? So you see, Isur does chalal Isur, even though this is called Isur bas achas, right? Because Shabbos and Yom Kippur come exactly at the same time. It's called Isur bas achas. Rashi goes on to explain that only the opinions who hold Isur Kolel or Isur Meisif, Isur Kolel. So only ones who hold Isur Kolel, they are the ones who can hold Isur bas achas. But if you don't hold Isur Kolel, you don't hold Isur bas achas, because the concept of bas achas is that even if it comes in succession, right? Even if it comes in succession, then it would be chal. So the fact that it comes together isn't a problem. They're both going to be chal together, right? But over here, basically, it doesn't hold Isur Kolel. That's our whole premise. Over here, it doesn't hold Isur Kolel. So how can you hold Isur bas achas? So the Gemara is kasha over here. Over here, you see basically it does hold Isur Chalal Isur, even by Isur Kolel, and therefore it's mechayev one for Shabbos, one for Yom Kippur. So how could it be? It's a stira. So Shalach Ravin Mishum Rabbi Eliyahu Raful Kachat Sashal Mishnah. Yes, this is the way Mishnah said, but ve'epuch. You got to flip it. You got to flip the shitos because Rabbi Eliyahu Raful is going to be the one who holds the only chayav one. Okay. Now Shalach Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Yaakov Bar Giyuri Mishum Rabbi Yochanan. So Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Yaakov asks the following question: Did Rabbi Eliyahu Raful Lemai de Afchan? According to the way we switched it, Shagag b'Shabbos. Let's say. He did not know. He forgot that it was Shabbos, right? He did one melacha at Shabbos. It's Chalayis b'Yom Kippurim, right? And he didn't know. He forgot the fact that it was Shabbos, but he knew the fact that it was Yom Kippur, right? So chayiv. He's chayiv. We're talking about a chatas over here. He's chayiv a chatas, right? Which means over here we're going klapi Shabbos, right? Because mitzad Yom Kippur it's mezik. You knew he was Yom Kippur and you still did it, right? Mezik is not chayiv a chatas, right? But the Gabi Shabbos, he forgot that it was Shabbos, and therefore he was shagig, and therefore he's chayav chatas. That means we're looking at that day as if it's Shabbos, right? And if it's hazed b'Shabbos, v'shagig b'Yom Kippur, meaning he knew it was Shabbos and he still did the malacha, he forgot that it's Yom Kippur, so he's pater from a chatas. Why? Again, because if we look at it as if it's Shabbos, and the Gabi Shabbos, you're amazing, right? So the Gemara says, my time. Why is this true? Why is this true that we look at it as Shabbos? Right? Basically ends up we say basically is the one who holds the only chayav one. Well, which one are you chayiv? Are you chayiv al Yom Kippur or are you chayiv al Shabbos? This statement sounds like all we care about is Shabbos. So, effectively, more my time. Why do we care about Shabbos? Shabbos kviya v'kaima. Shabbos is set every single seventh day, right? The schedule is set. It's much more constant than Yom Kippurim, which is beidina dekakavule. Bezdin is the one who decides when Rosh Chodesh is, when Rosh Chodesh, and therefore, when we look to know which one is prior, right? Which one takes a priori, whatever it's called, right? Which one comes first? Not in chronological order, but in logical order. Which one comes first? Shabbos, because Shabbos is much more constant in scheduling than Yom Kippur. And therefore, he says that's why Shabbos is. Rav tells us back. Saif Tavai Badi Adikosim. Saif, they both come together. What are you talking about? Fine, very nice. And Lumdis, one's better. So what? They both come together. Rava says Shma Dahava. This story where these halachas were said with Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Yankov Bar Giyuri, that he said that if Shagag b'Shabbos or Hazib Yom Kippur, you're chayiv al Shabbos and al Yom Kippur. No. That was 1 year. There was a shmad. There was a decree by the Goyim that they couldn't keep Yom Kippur. So Shalchum Misam. they sent them the Yomi the Kippuri the Hashasa that year Yom Kippur Shabzu, make it on Shabbos. They were not allowed to keep Yom Kippur. The Goyim wouldn't let them keep Yom Kippur regularly, right? So what did the Chachamim decide? The Chachamim decided, tell them to keep Yom Kippur just so that they won't forget the concept of Yom Kippur. Let them do it that Shabbos. They'll do it that Shabbos, and the Goyim won't realize that they're doing Yom Kippur. Why? Because anyway Shabbos they don't do Malach, right? So therefore, in secret they would do Yom Kippur on that Shabbos. But that was a fake Yom Kippur, right? Because it wasn't real Yom Kippur. So he's saying that on that year, on that year where they did the fake Yom Kippur on Shabbos, right? If someone was hazed mitzad Yom Kippur, right, and shagag mitzad Shabbos, doesn't make a difference because
Hazed Shabbos. Hazed Shabbos.
If we're hazed
on that year, shagag Yom Kippurim, so it really wasn't Yom Kippurim, so he doesn't get the Yom Kippur.
Right. If it would have been real Yom Kippur, right? So then he would have been chayav achatzas Yom Kippur. Right, and that's what Rava holds. Rava holds that wherever, if you were mazid, right, let's in the Shabbos that is Chal Yom Kippur, a real Shabbos is called real Yom Kippur, right? So in that situation, if you're mazid mitzad Shabbos, right, you would still be chayav al Yom Kippur, right? Because it's Chal wherever it can be, right? Ain't Isra Chal Isra, but wherever. But that's only if an Isra is there. If a Chiyuv Chatas is there, another Chiyuv Chatas is not going to be Chal on it, right? But if there's no Chiyuv Chatas because mitzad Shabbos you did hazed, so mitzad Yom Kippur will be Chal. And the same thing the opposite, right? But in this situation where it was a fake Yom Kippur, right? So if you were shagag, if you were shagag b'Shabbos v'hazed b'Yom Kippur, you're still going to be chayiv b'Shabbos. And if you were hazed b'Shabbos and chayiv on Yom Kippur, you're going to be patur. Why? Because it wasn't real Yom Kippur. So even though you were shagag mitzad Yom Kippur, it's a fake Yom Kippur. Okay. Tanya. And then v'chen kiyasa Ravin v'chol nechaisi. Ravin and all the people who came down from Eretz Yisrael, I guess, from Bavel, they said Amnur Kirava. They said like Rava. Okay, so the consensus was like Rava's Pshat in this statement over here. Okay. So the Gemara quotes the Mishnah, Amr Yehuda, V'aloi b'nei Yaakov nesar gidan nashe. Right, that's what Yehuda's taina. Way back when they were Chayiv gidan nashe, and we said there are different approaches to understand. The way the Gemara seems to make it is that it's kimat a technical machlekes as to whether it's chal alisr, and since it was noig b'nei noyach, so now it's isur chomer and it's chal. Okay, so Tanya Amrul Rabbi Yehuda, the Chacham tell him back v'chinemer al kein lo yochu b'nei Yaakov. It doesn't say b'nei Yaakov, which would sound like in the narrative they weren't allowed to eat from then. V'aloi nemer b'nei Yisrael, v'aloi nukru b'nei Yisrael at Sinai. They weren't called b'nei Yisrael until Sinai. Right, so it must be it's not talking about back then. It must be afterwards. It was just written in its proper place. Lay them so that we would know what's the reason it was also. Well, because of the fight between Yaakov and the Malachs, and Mela Gidanash became us, and that's why we put it over there. Masiv Rava says, oh yeah, they're not called Bnei Yisrael until Sinai. Vayisu Bnei Yisrael is Yaakov Avihem. Right, that's when they went to bury him. Right, that was before Sinai. So you see, they are called Bnei Yisrael before Sinai. It says the Gemara la'achar ma'aseh. No, that's after the story when Hashem already called Yaakov Yisrael. He says Lo yemar Hashem cho Yaakov kim Yisrael yeshemecha like Hashem Yisrael. Right, so then you're right. Then since he was called Yisrael, so they were called Bnei Yisrael already. So I guess we're a little bit being chayzer from the fact, Taisus points this out, we're being chayzer from the fact that they're not called Bnei Yisrael till Sinai, right? We know they're not called Am Yisrael really till Sinai, but okay. So now it sounds like from when Hashem already decided that his name is not going to be Yaakov, Hashem's Yisrael, so therefore he's called Yisrael. So in fact, the Gemara, so that from when they're called Bnei Yisrael, then they should already be Aser in Gidanashe because now they're called Bnei Yisrael. And the pasuk says, "Alkein lo yochel bnei Yisrael gidanashe." So Amar Levi chitar pe'amim nitna. Was the Torah given a few times? What are you talking about? When they started being called bnei Yisrael, that wasn't when the Yisra gidanashe was given, right? V'lo shas matan Torah, and it wasn't. It wasn't Shas Ma'aseh. It wasn't the time of the fight between Yaakov and the Malach, and it wasn't Matan Torah. There's no other time that it would have been given. The fact, right? Either it was by Bnei Yaakov, or it was by Sinai, right? Those are our two options, right? Now we're using the fact that it's called Bnei Yisrael to show us as a siman. Oh, must be it wasn't by Bnei Yaakov. Must be it it was by Sinai because at that time they weren't called Bnei Yisrael yet. Elamai is showing me that in the middle it started being called Bnei Yisrael. So in the middle they're going to be chayiv what shaychas. It definitely wasn't given in the middle, right? They just happen to be called Bnei Yisrael. That's not going to make them chayiv. The fact that they're called Bnei Yisrael is not going to make them chayiv. We just want to know chronologically when it happened, right? And therefore we're going to say that since at that point they were not called Bnei Yisrael, therefore it must be it's at the other option. The only other option is Sinai. Okay, Tanu Rabbanon. This is really a whole new sugya, but we'll start. Every minachai noig b'behem achai va'oif. It's like in all behem achai and oif, bein tmein, bein tahor. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda, v'Rabbi Eliezer. Okay, v'chachamar me'enin ha'gala b'tahor. Rabbi Yochanan says, "Ushnei mikra echad darshan." Both opinions, both darshan one pasuk, the same pasuk. Rak chazak, be strong. Liviltiach el adam, not eat the blood. Ki adam hu nefesh. Leisachal nefesh im basar. Right? Don't eat so you can't eat dam. This is the issue to eat dam with the basar. Right? Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Elazar, Savi kol shata mitzuvah al damai. Any type of animal you mitzuvah on the dam, ata mitzuvah al ivar. You're not allowed to eat the aver min achai also. Because this pasuk is also talking about hanefesh, as Rashi explains, when the nefesh is still in it. So this is a reference to every minachai. So this pasuk is not only about dam; it's also referencing every minachai, and therefore we see a link between every minachai and dam. And any animal you're not allowed to eat dam. And Rashi says we learn out in Krisos that even behemoth tumeus you're not allowed to eat the dam, right? So therefore, any animal that's asur and dam is going to be asur in every minachai. The hanitmein nami. So tame animals hoyil v'ata mitzuvah al domon ata mitzuvah al ivarin. The Rabbanon savi, the Rabbanon who hold no your potter on a behemoth tmei from every minachai is they hold lo yitachal hanefesh ima basar. Ela basar lechudei. Kol shebsari mutar ata mitzuvah al ivarov. Kol she'en b'sari mutar ata mitzuvah al ivarov. That only if the basar is mutar, then you're not allowed to eat the nefesh with the basar. Right? Lo yisachal nefesh ima basar means don't eat the nefesh with the basar. Don't eat the basar while the nefesh is still in there. But ella basar l'chudei. You're only allowed to eat the basar itself, not when the animal's still alive. But the basar alone, after the animal's dead already, the nefesh is not there anymore. That's basar l'chudei, basar alone that you're allowed to eat. And therefore, from here they learn that kol shebasari mutar, then ata mitzvah levar. But if the basar is anyway not mutar, iyata mitzvah levar. Okay, outcome.